We started going to these foreclosure sales only 3 weeks ago.
Yep.
And we had zero money to do it.
Yep.
And I'm not taking my own money. Don's not taking his own money. But we've got a stack of cashier's checks so that we can walk into the auction and bid on a property and win that property. And we did that by explaining what the deal is to our network, guys. You see how these kind of things, they stack on each other? So networking for 25 years has certainly allowed me to be able to call people up and say, hey, you remember when we made money going to the foreclosure sale in Orlando, Florida all those years? And they're like, yeah, I remember, let's do that. Yeah. Okay, well, we're gonna do the same thing, but we're gonna do it in Puerto Rico. All right, I'll wire you some money. Because it's not about the money, it's about the deal.
It's not the money, it's the deal. What's the best advice you ever gotten that's led you to becoming a millionaire?
Okay. One key piece of advice that I've used for over 25 years is to network. Your network is your net worth. I didn't know this when I was working for the man. I didn't know this when I had a job. I think this was not something that was taught in school, but it is something as you become a business owner that you realize and that you learn. And having a powerful network, I mean, a list of entrepreneurs who are dynamic, who have done great things that you can have on speed dial and talk to and communicate with to decide, hey, is this direction good or is that direction good? This has been something that has catapulted me over the years to do bigger and bigger deals and to become more and more successful. So starting out, I didn't have much of a network, and it was a lot more of beating your head against the wall. Then as you grow in your business ventures and as time goes on and you network more, your network truly becomes your net worth. And I even use that at times where when I've wanted to step up my earning potential or my net worth potential, I would seek out people who were above me. So I used to do this playing basketball too. Playing basketball, I used to try to play with the college kids when I was in high school, with the high school kids when I was in junior high school. And so I was always trying to play a level or two up, and that helped me to become a better basketball player. It's definitely helped in business too, networking with people who are doing what you want to do, not what you're currently doing, and learning from them.
I would agree with that. I just finished that first flip this year.
Yeah.
And I think what kept me going was able to call you and Dave and those people that had access to everything and be like, all right, the contractor's saying it's this much. What have you guys done in the past and how much should it be? Oh, well, this is that. The roof is leaking. Who do I call?
Yeah.
Hey, do you have people to do this? Like, it's just mainstreams everything instead of going through an interview of people to see if one person can do the job. It's like, all right, this guy's already been tested. Let's use him.
Yeah.
And then if he doesn't do it, well, we'll find the next guy.
And what's so cool about the fact that your network is your net worth, networking's free. I mean, really, you can find people, go to the country club and meet successful people. You can do that, right? You could join a country club to network with people if you wanted to. But you can, and I wouldn't recommend doing that, but you can go to local real estate investment groups. You can do things online like you're doing right now, watching a video. You can join groups like we've got on school and be a part of groups that are doing real estate deals together. So it's really, there's no excuse not to always be networking. And it is a lot of times about who you know, not necessarily what you know.
And I would say just don't be afraid to ask those questions. The stupid question is the one you didn't ask, and just get it out there.
Yeah.
When we first met, what's equity? What's this? What's that? What?
And it's not a stupid question. I mean, why would you know what equity is if you've never been a part of it? Or what's an ROI? What's the return on investment? What's a cash return on investment versus an appreciation laden return on investment?
Yeah.
I don't even know if that's a thing, you guys. But my point is,
words.
I hear all the time. So I network with people that are doing different businesses with me, or they're at a different level, and they're using different three letters. Everybody tries to drill these things down to ROI or CPA, and I'll be sitting in meetings and I'll go, what does that mean? And they'll just be, because it's normal to them. Oh, that's what this means, and that's what you're talking about, right? Like, so this is completely normal stuff. We've all been there.
Yeah.
And again, when you're stepping up a level, when I'm going and meeting with a guy who's setting up opportunity zone funds, he's going to use different verbiage than I'm going to use, and I got to ask those questions and learn it again. So don't be afraid to ask the questions. There's no bad question, that's for sure.
Yeah. And something else would be just asking you what you did wrong.
Yeah.
You know, like what was your biggest mistake in your first deal, or you know, how can you avoid a situation? And asking you those questions put me in a position to be like, all right, I know to look for these things in my next deal. Not that it can't happen to me,
Yeah.
but at least I'm subconsciously aware, like, hey, this could go wrong, this could go wrong, this can go wrong. And if you do avoid all these things, you're doing this right.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that has a big role in not only, I guess it's not networking, it's mentorship. You know?
Yeah, networking and mentorship can be the same thing. Being a part of groups of people that are, if you're going to be a realtor, be a part of the association of realtors, and just network with the people who are doing what you want to do. Hopefully the people that are a little bit further ahead of you. You don't always want to be the guy who's asking all the questions in the room, but you also don't always want to be the smartest guy in the room either. So you want to be constantly moving forward and networking with people that are higher and higher and leveling up, constantly leveling up. So networking is one thing that I would say has helped me throughout the years and still does to this day. What's one thing that's helped you to start? And we're in different spots, right? Like, so I've been doing this for 25 years. You've been doing this for less than 25 months.
Yeah.
What's one thing that you took as good advice starting out?
It's not the money. It's the deal.
It's not the money. It's the deal. It's you.
Yep. And you drilled that into my head, and until it didn't click, I still was like, but how? How am I going to do this? I have no money.
Yeah.
And you kept going, it's not the money. It's the deal. And until I saw you do it at least, I don't know, like 100 times, where we would drive up to these properties. And this was where my real mentorship started. We would drive every day to a different property he was looking at to be like, all right, this is what it is. And ask me questions. What do you think it needs? What do you think this is and that? Until I saw him be like, all right, I like this. I'm going to buy it. Make one phone call. Be like, hey, I have this deal. This is this, that, whatever. You interested? All right, I need this much. Okay. And then he looks at me and said, I got the money. And I'm like, it's that easy. It's that easy. And again, I understand that he has long-term relationships with these people. But until I had to do it myself, and I did it really for the nineplex, until I sat down and called over 100 people,
Right.
told them, I have this deal, and locked into like 3 or 4, and they made me do 25 revisions of the same piece of paperwork.
Yeah.
I understood, all right, for the next time, I can avoid all this and go to these 5 people.
Right.
Because now I don't need these guys. The 5 people here do want to do deals, do want to do this. Let's get in there.
Yeah, that's right.
And start with them first. And if I can't do it with them, then I have to call 100 people more.
And I really do live this. It's not the money, it's the deal.
I do.
As
I see it every day.
way of life, right? Like, we went to a foreclosure sale today.
Yes.
And we started going to these foreclosure sales only 3 weeks ago.
Yep.
And we had zero money to do it.
Yep.
And I'm not taking my own money, and Don's not taking his own money, but we've got a stack of cashier's checks so that we can walk into the auction and bid on a property and win that property. And we did that by explaining what the deal is to our network, guys. You see how these kind of things, they stack on each other. So networking for 25 years has certainly allowed me to be able to call people up and say, hey, you remember when we made money going to the foreclosure sale in Orlando, Florida all those years? And they're like, yeah, I remember. Let's do that.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we're going to do the same thing, but we're going to do it in Puerto Rico. All right, I'll wire you some money, because it's not about the money, it's about the deal. And having the network and actually doing it and having done it for years and years and have a track record of success. And I know that's a harder part, right, when you're first starting out.
No, but what I want to say is, seeing you do that gives me confidence that it could be done on a bigger scale, much farther down the line.
It's funny you say that, because when I first started out, seeing other people had done it, and I didn't even know them. Like, you know me and you've watched me do it. But I did it because I saw other people on an infomercial saying, oh, yeah, you can buy real estate with no money and you can change your life and you can have financial freedom. And I'm like, wow, if Betty and Bill can do it, so can I. Yeah. Who the hell is Betty and Bill? I don't know who they are, but they did it. At least they said they did. And I was young enough and dumb enough to believe it. And lo and behold, everything Betty and Bill told me all those years ago turned out to be true. Yeah. And it can be done, and you can do it too. So it's not the money, it's the deal. I love that.
And it's just calling people. Just go for it. That's what I think is the biggest barrier.
Man, okay, so let's give a third one. Because you gave yours, I gave mine. What you just said brings me to a bonus. So if I'm watching a video on how to become a real estate investor and getting great advice from Robbie and Adon, what can I do with it? Well, yeah, I can network, and yeah, I can have a mindset shift that the money's not the most important part of the thing. But probably the absolute most important part that you can do is to take action and to start doing it. Like you just started to allude to it.
Yeah.
Start making those calls, start making those offers, and put yourself in a position where you're actually going to buy something, and then actually buy something. It's okay to say yes once you've got a great deal. So taking action is so huge. It's really, networking is great, and having the right mindset is great, but you can have all of those or both of those things and still never become a real estate investor and still never make any money. But if you start taking action, even if you start taking action with a bad mindset, like you're really struggling with how I'm going to get the money, but you're willing to put in the work and make the calls, I'd rather see someone that's willing to do that than someone that studies a whole bunch of stuff and looks at all the videos and then sits there and has analysis paralysis. So our third key piece of advice is take action. And if you take action, you will change your life. You will become a real estate investor if you buy a piece of real estate.
I agree. And it just happens once you make that decision.
So those three things, guys, that we just went through, these three key pieces of advice will help you to get on your path, on your journey to financial freedom, to get away from that 9-to-5 job that you hate and become a real estate investor. And God willing, you get some financial freedom, ultimately become a millionaire. What does it take? Your network is your net worth. The money's not the most important part of the thing. Now that you know all that, go take massive action and become a real estate investor. Have the life that you've always dreamt of. Get away from the life that you hate. If you want to get out of the rat race, become a real estate investor, there's a roadmap for you. This advice helped me to become a millionaire, and it's put Adon on the same path.
I'm a half a millionaire, but I'm on my way.
And he's only done 4 deals. I'm just barely a millionaire, and I've done 3,000 deals, so he's doing it better than me.
Well, this was a great conversation. I'll see you guys on the next one. And don't forget to join Apex. All this stuff we talked about, we go into deep detail there. We have our networks there. We're doing deals with people there. We're going to foreclosure sales. Yeah. We're giving master classes. We'll be teaching a class there just to the Apex members. So if you do not want to miss that, you need to join Apex. Stop wasting time and join Apex.
All right, guys, thanks for watching the video. As always, give it a big like. Hit that like. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe to the channel, guys. If you want to become a real estate investor, we want to make it easy for you. That's why we put out this content. Also, join us on School. Links are in the description. God bless.